Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another stream, first of the new year, 2026. I hope you're all well. We're back in Train Sim Classic today. A little experiment, I suppose. Back at on the Portsmouth Direct Line as well at Havant. Those of you that might have seen some of my older YouTube videos know I did a series of videos here from Havant with the Class 158 to find out which Class 158 was the fastest, because so many versions of Class 158. All of them were slightly different in performance. I was watching a stream the other day by Carter, and he was asking the question in a way, well, chat was, about how slow an HST was, taking a while to accelerate. Carter said, I bet that a pacer would be quicker than an HST to get to 50. I thought, well, let's find out, shall we? Let's find out if a pacer really is faster to 50 than an HST. So I thought I'd come to Havant, which is where I've done the other videos in the past. The ground here is quite flat. So if I have the brakes off, the train isn't going to roll down a slope or roll backwards. And there's quite a nice long straight for a while as well. So it was perfect for my 0 to 60 158 testing. So I thought, well, let's do it on here. Now, of course, I could have done it also in TSW, Pacer, TSW HS. But as Carter had done it in Train Sim Classic, I thought, well, we'll do it in Train Sim Classic instead. So what I'm going to do is going to get the Pacer, and I'm going to get the HST from AP, the MTU version, which was the same version that Harder was driving in his scenario. Now, unfortunately, I haven't got the newer Pacer from AP, so I'm going to be using the older one, version 1, which was the Pacer from Wagons, which was the original Pacer that AP did. I don't think the physics will be affected too much. Not exactly going to go off like a rocket like the Class 150/1 used to do from Dovetail before they patched that, which I think actually still the quickest 0 to 60 train I had in Train Sim, apart from the jet train and the Super 47, of course. Getting those. Arda, hello, glad you're here. You've now find out the answer to your question that you had in your mind when you did a scenario a week or two ago, where you were driving an HST into Swansea and you were complaining about how slow it was to get to speed. And somebody in your chat said, yes, it's not a very high speed train, is it? You basically said, oh, I bet a pacer could probably get to 50 quicker than what an HST could get to 50. So I thought today we can find out what is quicker to 50. Now, of course, as I said, this isn't the new pacer from AP, this is the older pacer. I doubt if it will be really affected by the physics, because everyone would be complaining if AP had brought out a pacer where the physics weren't exactly right. So it should be more or less, you know, a good interesting thing to do. So as I said, I'm here at Havant with the pacer. I've just got a bog standard two coach pacer. And what I've done is I've lined it up here as close as possible to this platform edge here, which I'll do with the HST, just so that the distance, more or less, so you can see that the front of this train is more or less in line with this line here. It might be like, you know, you're talking maybe a centimetre or I mean, you know, but if both trains got to within centimetres each other at the other end, then obviously we can debate it. But anyway, so as I said, I'm going to use the Wagons pacer, the original AP pacer, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to basically put the throttle right down. So I'm going to take the brakes off. As I said, I chose here because it's flat here. This is the very old Portsmouth Direct Line, and as I said in the past, I did some videos here comparing the different Class 158s you could get in Train Sim Classic, and how they were all different. So I did some videos where I started from here, accelerated to 60, and then I always use this in a way as like a test track in a way for future videos where I go, right, okay, we'll start from here, and it's just to compare really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into forward, and then how it's going to work is this. I'm basically going to accelerate on full throttle, so I'm not going to gently go up in throttles. I'm just going to put it on full throttle. When the train reaches 50 miles per hour on here, I put on the emergency brakes, and then we see where the train stops. Now there are some cool references along here. We got a station just round the corner, and we got several bridges, so we can use those as a guide, so we can use those as a marker so that we know which one's quicker or not. So make it more interesting, I'm also, with the pacers, I'm going to do with the HSTs, I'm going to do 3 different, oh gosh, I'm going to do 3 different combinations. You're probably hearing a hum now, unfortunately, with the microphone. Dreading this was going to happen. Trying to stop the microphone from getting this horrible hum because it's sitting on a desk which has got a hum on it because my boom mic broke. My boom for my microphone broke, so probably a horrible hum now. There is, apologies, I can't do much about it. I don't think it's a loud hum, but it'll be there in the background. Anyway, sorry, but yeah, I'm going to get up to 50, and then put the emergency brake on, and then we'll see. So I'm going to start now. Literally got the brakes off, we've got it in forward. Here we go, I'm going to put it on full throttle, so here we go. So we're going to go up to 50. Hopefully you can still hear my voice all right. There's no hearable hum. Okay, there is a slight hum that I was picking up because of it's on a desk. Anyway, we're up to 20 now. Hopefully you can still hear me talking. Up to 20 now. 30. Right, we're coming up to Bedhampton Station, which is just around the curve. We're at 32 miles per hour now. Thank you. Right, we're coming up to 37 miles per hour now. 40 miles per hour. .45. 46. So we've gone through Bedhampton. 47 miles per hour. 48. 49. 50. Well, we got up to 50. 49.9, but then there was a little gap. So yeah, 50. I'm going to turn the throttle off as well, so I don't want it starting again. There we go. So we got past the station, and we've just gone past the first bridge as well. So there we go. So we went to 50 and then put the brakes on. So yeah, so we got up to 50, brake just after this bridge here. Hey Dave. Yeah, it gets up to 30 quite quick, and then after it gets to after 30 it takes a little while to speed up, but I can probably understand why it's done that way. It's probably geared that way because obviously it'll just be used for accelerating and stopping at stations that are quite close to each other in a way, you know, in some areas. So that's probably why it's probably geared that way to accelerate to 30 quicker. Happy Easter. Thank you, Dave. That's very kind of you. It does feel like Easter already, especially if you go to some shops already and they're starting to sell got hot cross buns or eggs. So yeah, not surprised. So anyway, but just put that in your mind. We got just past this first bridge here. That's where we ended up. Now the HST is going to be a bigger train, have more coaches. It's going to take longer to stop. I would say the HST is just 0-30 slowish and then picking up. Yeah, anyway, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come out of here and we have to go back to the main menu. Go back to quick drive and I'm going to choose the MTU HST. I'm going to choose the same one that you drove in your scenario. But select it on here. High speed train. One of these ones. Actually, no, I think it's under class 43, isn't it? I think about it. Got to be careful because there's so many variations of the HST on here. Go up again. Out of here and go back again. I love the old menu on here. Come on. Think about it now. Right. Go back to quick drive again. Right. Fast forward 3. Right, so the HST. Okay, so it's going to be under here. So I've got to go all the way down to the first Great Western, and it was the it will follow with numbers on it. This was the one. 43002 and the so this is the one. So it had the Swallow, had the old livery at the front with the thing. So it could be either this way around or that way around. Can't remember which way around it was scenario, but I'll do it with the Swallow at the front. So we'll do that one. And hello everybody. Sorry I haven't missed chat. I'm just busy concentrating on here. As I said, it's a shortish stream, not very long. It was just that Carter was doing a stream and he was asking himself the question, does a pacer get to 30 before an HST? I thought, well, let's find out. I was thinking about doing this in TSW as well, but okay. Right. Let's turn off the automatic train protection. Don't need that on. So here we are. So this is the new HST. You can tell because you open the doors like so. This is the most recent HST. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this up. I'm going to go and put this onto headlight days, like so, like that. More or less be okay. What I'm going to need to do now is I just need to move the train up to this line here, more or less. Get it lined up with where the pacer was. So this is an 8-coach HST with 2 power cars, so it's 10 in total compared to the why are we not moving? Oh, okay. It's I need to go back over here again. Sorry about this. A bit rusty. Old age. Right. Right, now I suppose the pacer could win if you basically decided to go at notch 1 acceleration, I suppose. If you think about it, Carter, in your scenario, you were driving very slowly into Swansea. So the acceleration is probably not so good when you put it in notch 1 or notch 2. This is a little bit different because I'm actually going to be... Right, okay. It's a little bit fast. I'm going to just do what I normally do in the stream, and that's a little bit of reversing. Not much though. Just want to try and get this at least kind of right. That'll do. Right. That's more or less. We're talking centimetres. Right, so I'm just going to take all the brakes off as well, because otherwise the brakes do take a while to get up to speed. So I'm just going to wait for the brakes, and I'm going to do the same thing on here. Now, one thing I've noticed on this is that the backspace button doesn't do the emergency brake as it does some of the other trains in TS. So what I'm going to have to do is when I get up to 50, I'm going to have to slam down this button, which is the emergency brake button, when I get to 50. Right, so we got it full on, reverse is full on, and yeah, I've got the doors open. Not that it really matters. I don't think that makes it go faster or anything. I don't think it affects it. I think I should shut the door anyway. I think I should maybe. Maybe I should shut the door just in case. You know, I couldn't open the door on the other one, so we'll keep this. Try and keep this perfect. Right, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put... Brakes are off. I'm just going to put it down full throttle, and then put the... Once we get to 50, I'm going to put the brake on. Right. Yeah, maybe, you know. Right, so here we go. I'm going to put it on full throttle. Right, 1 mile an hour. This is the MTU version, so I'm not going to test the different versions of engines because the Valenta might be more powerful or vice versa, the VP185. I'm not doing all that. It's the HST and a pacer. Right, we're up to 14 miles per hour now. 15, 16. So again, this is an 8-coach HST with 2 power cars. I suppose if you were doing it with a stopwatch, it might be a little bit different, which is quicker in time-wise, but it's how much distance it carries before it gets to 50. Right, we're at 40 already. 41, 42, 45, 46, 7. Right, 50. We hit 50. There we go. But the pacer went past that bridge ahead before it stopped. So we might have still got some coaches still left in the station. Right. Have a look at the back. Yeah, look, we could... Can we get that? Can that coach work? No, unfortunately not. But yeah, we people could have got out the last carriage if they wanted. So that is an 8-car set. So that's an 8-car with 2 coaches. Don't forget the power cars each weigh 90 tons as well. So it's a lot. It's a lot, quite a heavy load got to carry. that's that one. But another thing we could do is, so we've done that one. Go back. I'm going to do castle set as well, which is the one, is the HST with the 2 power cars and 4 coaches. So we'll do that one as well, because that was one that was also in service. And then also we'll do a different one as well, just for one more. This is just more to see if AP actually simulate the physics properly, as in like a lighter train should be quicker. Right, so here we are. So sort this out. I'm going to disable ATP because I don't need that on. Right, take the brakes off a minute. So we'll just have a quick look outside. So this is the castle set. So this one is the set that normally just has 4 coaches and 2 power cars. And then the doors on here are also the sliding doors, which are obviously different to the ones that used to have the slam doors. So this is getting more to a pacer, isn't it? Kind of. It's the nearest thing you can get to a pacer with 4 coaches and the 2 power cars. So we're going to do the same thing again. Just going to literally just move this train up to here, though, more or less. Can't get it exactly right, but it's just to try and help a little bit. A bit more. Sorry about all this. That'll do, more or less. Right. Here's if we can get to a pacer. Well, a pacer's 2 coaches, isn't it? 2 carriages. Well, there is one more thing you can do, which is nearest to the pacer, but we'll do that one next, and that'll be it for the team. At least I've helped answer your question, Harder. Right. Get the brakes off. So again, I'm just going to go up to 50 and then put the emergency brake on here. And then we're going to see how far this gets. Now, the last time, the end carriage got into Bedhampton station. So this one, in theory, should probably get to the station or just fit in it somewhere. But anyway, we're all ready, I think. The brakes are off. All good. Let's get up to full power. Then we'll get up to 50 again and then put the brake on. Yeah, but it's probably just the way the gearing is, isn't it? It's like designed to accelerate probably quicker to 30 than... Right, you can see this one's a little bit snappier already, being that it's only 4 coaches and 2 power cars. Right, we're up to 30 already. Almost 50 now. There we go. Emergency brake on at 50. There we go. So yeah, it's basically just the front of the train got in here. Yeah, but I think, Katie, I mean, it's just probably like you think about an HST, they're not exactly going to accelerate out of a station at notch 5 either. Whereas what I'm doing on here is I'm basically just doing both at full throttle to start off with. So you don't really, when an HST's pulling out of a station with a 20-mile-an-hour limit just down the track, it's not going to zoom off at notch 5, which is what I'm doing in here. So probably doesn't do the engine much good either, does it? But this is train sim. It was just a question that Carter had asked in his stream. It was like, I wonder if a pacer would get to 50 quicker. So anyway, we got here. I'm just going to come away from here because of that horrible crossing. So yeah, anyway. So the 4-coach castle set managed to just get a little bit into Bedhampton station, whereas the other train had the last carriage station. But yeah, anyway, there we go. So that's the castle set, and now I'm going to do the last one, which is a bit crazy, but why not? Also, it depends on passenger load. If you've got a very full HST full of passengers, it probably will be quite slow compared to a pacer that's empty. Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of things in it, but it was just a bit of fun. And Carter had asked a question in his stream, and I thought, well, let's see. This one is this one is going to be the craziest version. See if I can find it now. Saw it in here before. I need to find it again. I can't remember what it was called. I saw it though. There we go. The rail adventure one. This is the do this one. Blind Scotsman. No, this is just HST and pacer casing, and then that's it. No more out of the stream, and I'm going to stop the stream, and then it's just good. I've just got it a VOD. I can stick it up on YouTube as well. It was interesting that someone compared an HST to an ice train. I thought, well, that's an electric train, high speed, and diesel. I mean, the HST had its own. The HST had its own use, which was to basically be able to travel around on lines that were unelectrified at still quite high speeds if the line supported high speed. So the HST had a role and did a good job at that role. I think comparing it to a high-speed electric train, that's a bit like, well, if he wants to go like that, we'll say, well, let's compare an ice 3 to a maglev train then. Which one is quicker? What was the one that started with the word test? I don't know. No idea. Anyway, so, right, let's do this a second. Right. But this time we're in the Rail Adventure HST with the buffers. So let's just get this lined up like so. HST with the buffers does look really strange. Nearly. That'll do more or less. I mean, people are going to say, oh, it's maybe a centimetre out, but right, anyway. This is the one which is basically two HST hour cars together. So, yeah, this is the pacer. Although this can't carry as many people as a pacer. Although, how many people you could fit in these guards compartments, probably say it was debatable. Like a manga HST, yeah. I think this is the one that they use sometimes for freight now, you know? Anyway. Robin Van Persie's looking good in here. But let's just take the brakes off. And we'll do the same thing again, 50, and then we'll put on the brakes. Yeah. But anyway, let's get to 50. Right, we're almost at 30 now. $40. There we go. Gonna be to do with the brakes as well, but well, we kind of know that already, Carter, though. I mean, you know, your Class 37 streams have proved that in a way. There we go. We literally... we literally didn't even get to the station. So, there we are. So, we can do one more, actually, just to see. Pace has been obsoleted, yeah, exactly. Just think how much fuel this probably uses compared to a pacer. Right, there's one more that I'm going to do, actually. That's going to be... right. I'm just going to put my Be Right Back screen up a minute. Got to go AFK. Second. Okay, coming back. Sorry about that. I had to go AFK for a minute as well. I realised we've got another pacer as well. So, Dovetail also did a pacer in later life, a 142, and when you got the Manchester to Huddersfield route, it came with it as well. So this is the Dovetail Games pacer. Sort of tell by the sound. Did his windows open up? Oh, they're still carded compatible windows. But there's... this is the DTG Pacer. And I thought, let's see what this one is like as well, because obviously the AP one might have had slightly different physics. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly this goes up to 50 miles per hour. Off or on? Off, right. So yeah, well, if you had, this used to be a standalone for a while, and then you could also get it with the Manchester Huddersfield route. Right, anyway, so let's see what this one's like. Hopefully you can still hear my voice. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to put it up to 50 miles per hour and then put the brake on. But I just want to compare this with the AP Wagons Pacer, the version 1 Pacer, to see if we get to more or less the same place on here than we did with the other one. Right, so let's get going, shall we? Oh, I've got to move the train first. Need to move it up to the line, make it fair. Casio keyboard. Okay, that's more or less in line. It will take a few millimeters. Right, anyway, let's get the brake off. Let's get going. Let's go to 50 in this one. We get to. I don't know if the backspace is going to work on this one as well. Let's just hope it does. Exactly, Katie. Right, we're up to 30 now. $40, $41, $42, $43. Yeah, it gets up to about 40 and then it gets very slow after that. $45. This one didn't go as far as the AP Pacer. The AP Pacer stopped where that bridge was here. But the AP Pacer stopped just past this bridge here. So the DTG Pacer is quicker than the AP Wagons Pacer. So, interestingly though, where it stops, if you were doing the HST with 8 coaches, because it was literally the last coach, so would you say they were about the same? You think about how many coaches the HST had and where it stopped. So if I'd have done this train, you could say, well, this one would win. Great comeback by DTG, yeah, exactly. Although the castle set would win, and then the 2 power car HST, which stopped just up here, would be a thing. It's a shame it's not like one of these things where, you know, I'm good enough to actually be able to put the trains down on the track like some other people might be able. But anyway, there is one more train we could try though. Just for fun before I go. That will be the 205. So we're gonna do this one just for fun, just for a laugh. And all them poor passengers. Who cares about poor passengers, Dave? Since when have you cared about poor passengers in one of my streams? I'll race your steam engine. Oh, well, you could actually do that in a way. I think you had what's that game? That Polish one. Right. Anyway, this is the ultimate not the 50 mile per hour one. This is the ultimate one. Right, number. Think of a number for me. Can we do 26 because it's the year 2026 now? Do that. Do 26 just because might be going the wrong way actually. Go back the other way. Right. Well, I don't know if it was me driving the steam engine. Might have. Me driving the pacer, rather. Wait, come back. Going. Wait. Doing off. There we go. Right, that'll do. And we'll do this side as well. I think. Way. Yeah, I thought, well, as it's 2026, I thought I'd just do this and a change. Right. Let's do the. Oh, that's light switch. That's the cab light switch. There's the other light switch that does the bulbs. Right. So yeah, this is the this is the nearest old thing to a pacer that I've got here. Right, so we'll do 0 to 50 with this one, just to make the pacer feel better. Right. So same thing. Gonna get up to 50, and then once we go up to 50, I'll put the emergency brake on. We ready? Here we go. Listen to that turbo whine. This is the Valenta. Oh, need to line it up. Oh, crap. Crap. Thank you, Katie. Although, to be honest, I don't think it would have made much difference. But we need to be fair. We need to be fair. Right. Well, I'll have to do a bit of reverse, and I knew this was going to happen. Oh no! I hope there's not going to be. No, that's all right. It's not train sim world. There won't be any red light penalty along here. Right. Let's just go back again. Reverse. You know what this train is missing now? All the more recent AP stuff had clag factor things you can put in. This doesn't have a clag factor. Basically, just get it as is. I was just warming the engine up, Katie. I thought maybe it might make it accelerate a bit quicker. A train's got 11:16 on the top. That might mean it takes 11 days and 16 hours to accelerate, but I don't know. Let's go to here and then we'll just burst it. Good job Katie was here though, because I would have just gone on my merrily old way. Not thought about it. Yeah, like I was saying to Carter, he was driving the Southampton Salisbury route. When I was a kid, I used to get these trains all the time and I hated them. Hated them. Because they were just the slow train, or just the slow train. Okay. Or just... Well, I think that's about it. Well, I'm going to give it an advantage of a few centimetres. When CK was a kid, I know. Who would have thought it, eh? Always knew someone was going to make that out. Right, so anyway, yeah, there's a few centimetres. Right. Right, here we go. We're going to do it again. 0 to 50. I hope the backspace works on here. Not too bad, actually. I think the free car version of this is a lot slower because obviously there's more carriages it's hauling. And in my 158 tests, I did 0 to 60, but Carter specifically mentioned in his stream about 0 to 50, which is why I'm doing 50. To be honest, there's not really a lot of difference between this and the Pacer. 0 to 60 would be an interesting one because of the extra 10 miles an hour it has to do, but we're almost at 50 now. One button. Oh well. I think we can see anyway. I messed that up a little bit, but we can still see even with emergency brakes that the braking is exactly the quickest. Yeah, I think it's because I messed it up, Carter. Because I think when it was an emergency, but I think what I did was I and I put it out, but yeah, I mean the brakes on these are going to be old anyway. I mean these are like brakes from coming from the 60s and things. I'm going to do that one again actually, because it just felt like it was something not right about it. So I'm going to Not worry about the head code or anything. Gonna do this because I messed up the brake because I took the brake off because I was supposed to reduce the throttle, so I'm not happy. Okay. I feel like the brake should have probably been a little bit better there, but I think because I took the brake off, went off emergency, it might have stopped a little bit quicker, but although, you know, the brakes on here are exactly the best anyway. That'll do. Right. Brake off. Right, so we'll try this again. This time I won't mess it up. Right, so up to 50 again. Make the train card compatible. But yeah, a two car 205 isn't too bad actually. I think the 3-car one was obviously because it's heavier. Accelerate slower, but we're not doing 0 to 60. 0 to 60 would probably have a bit of a difference. As I said, 0 to 50 was mentioned. Yeah, the 205. It was, as I said, I hated it when I was a kid. But I used to associate it with the slow train stopping everywhere. But going in a class 33 with Mark 1 coaches apartments seemed a lot more luxurious, and the journey was a lot quicker. Right, once we get up to 50, I'll put the brake on, and this time I'm not going to with the brake like I did before by accident. Right, we're almost at 50. Right, there we go. Now the emergency brake's on, but even still, you know, the brake isn't exactly the best. It's these older sort of brakes, and then they don't sort of become effective until you get down to about 10 miles an hour. You go, see, the slower you go, the more effective they get. There we go. There we go. So that's where the Class 205 ended up, which the AP Pacer ended up about here. That's the Wagons Pacer, not the new AP Pacer, but the first version, the AP Wagons. It ended up here, and then the DTG Pacer ended up just along here, and the HST 7 cars, the fast carriage was in station about here. So about the same as the DTG Pacer, I think, or less. And then the castle set was basically stopped about here. But the first carriage was in the station, and then the other one up about here. But anyway, I hope that shortish stream, I thought it was going to be a short stream, ended up being longer than what I thought. But I hope that helps you, Carter. Although you'll probably say, well, what about the new Pacer? But I haven't got the new Pacer, so I can't really tell you where that would end. If the physics are more realistic, it could have ended up being even further or away than the original one, the Wagons one. It might have ended up around here somewhere. Yeah, more or less. This route shows its age. Hey, Chris. Yeah, this is like the original Portsmouth Direct line. So yeah. This is the one that only went as far as Woking. But I like to use it because, as I said, did some 158 videos years ago, and I started from haven't. It was basically more or less starting from here and then going off. I thought, why not? Anyway, that's about it for today. Just wanted to do this, as I said, stream because Hardwood put the question in my mind the other day watching his stream about what would be quicker to 50, a pacer or an HST, and I thought, there we are. It'd be interesting to do this in TSW as well. I might do this in TSW in free roam one day. Line up a pacer and an HST together, so at least they're on separate tracks, and then you can kind of compare differently. First stream of the year too. Thanks, see. No worries. I will try and stream, but it's just a lot harder for me these days now. I don't know if the microphone's got a bit of a hum to it again. Said my boom broke. Now I have to rest it on the desk, but the trouble is the desk vibrates, so it's like a humming noise that you pick up. Very annoying. I noticed it in the last stream I did. So, thanks for popping in. Cheers, Egbert. Thank you, Carter, Katie, and Dave. Hope you have a good New Year. As I said, I probably will be doing the odd stream here and there. I when though. Watch out. See what happens. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna head off. So hope you enjoyed. Answered these questions, Chris as well. Thank you too. Happy New Year to you as well. I hope you're doing all right. And yeah, see you all later. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.